What's up, guys? I'm back. I got a little snack. Stretch my legs just a little bit. Got to use the bathroom, all those important things, and here I am. I'm actually gonna switch over. If one of my mods could switch the title, I'm gonna switch over to casting. I'm gonna cast the final set of Sola Victoria. The final set, bracket A. So if the title could be cast, I mean, you can make it what you want it, but something along the lines of casting the final set of Sola Victoria bracket A, best of 7. I'm gonna get that on the screen for you guys now. I have everything pretty much set up, almost, kind of. There we go. You guys can see. I'm gonna do that in just a second. You're gonna have a blank screen for like literally 10 seconds while I load up the first game. Game 1. And then we should be good. Give me just a second, and I'll have you back where we need to be. Okay. This, boom. Okay. So here we are. Last final. It's been a long time coming. I have been casting many games throughout this tournament. But here we are in the last final of the tournament, bracket A, between Haroooo and it. I know it says La Amenaza here. It should say, okay. Wait, what? He changed his name. It's El Docente, okay, guys. He changed his name in game. It should be El Docente. I'm gonna check real quick just to make sure that in game it's still right. Nope. I'm gonna go with El Docente though, just so you know. This is a very long name, number one, and this isn't the name he's been playing under the whole tournament. So he just changed it, okay? But it's supposed to be El Docente. You guys will know him as El Docente. Okay, so get rid of that. Haroooo is currently at 1876 with an all-time high of 1933. El Docente is currently at 1625 with an all-time high of 1935. So their all-time highs are like almost the same, but Haroooo's currently playing at a much higher elo than El Docente. Now, I will say, guys, if you watch the semifinal that El Docente played in, he was the underdog and absolutely dominated the set. It was an amazing set. It was a really fun set. And so I'm looking forward to see if he's able to repeat that success, or if Haroooo will be able to pull out the victory as the favorite. Another thing that's really interesting, okay? Actually, maybe I should pull the bracket back up for this. Okay. Well, actually, I can't show you the bracket. If I show you the bracket, it will spoil. So, actually, it might not. Give me 1 second. I think that it's not in there yet. I'm going to put you on a different screen so nothing's spoiled for you, just in case. Aha. It's not. Okay. All right. So I can show you this. Here you go. I'm going to put you back on the screen, and bada boom. Okay. So, Docente beat Lelouch 3-1. And Haroooo beat Daniel C 3-1. But really interesting thing. Haroooo was actually out of the he was out of the tournament. He lost 3-0 to Abu Abdullah. And we realized later on that Abu Abdullah had actually violated some of the rules for the tournament and was disqualified. Yeah, I'll just tell you, he had a Smurf account that was higher than the elo that was allowed in the tournament, so he was disqualified. And Haroooo got back in through an admin win and got to play in the semifinal and showed up big time. Really cool. And now we have it's really funny. So, spoiler alert, if you don't want to see the results of the other brackets, look away. But I've cast all of the other brackets, so I'm going to show you, okay? So if you don't want these results, just look away. But in bracket D, we had a seed 1 and seed 2. In bracket C, we had a seed 4 and a seed 18. In bracket B, we had a seed 3 and a seed 4 in the finals. But here in bracket A, we have something special. A seed 16 and a seed 14 made it all the way through in the highest bracket. And that's really difficult because you have to play some very, very high elo opponents. And you're the underdog. So both these players being underdogs in this tournament, they both beat much higher seeded players to make it through. And I'm really, really excited to see what's going to happen here in the final. And so we're going to hop into the draft. Okay. So here we have the map draft, and Haroooo is going to be the host, and he's going to pick Mediterranean as his home map. We're going to have El Docente, who's going to pick Arena as his home map. Haroooo's going to ban Migration. El Docente is going to, I guess, get a random ban, actually, for Land Nomad. Interesting. I guess the time ran out for him. Haroooo is going to ban Nomad, and El Docente is going to ban Hamburger. Haroooo picks Africa Clearing as a home map. El Docente picks Fortress, so we're seeing a theme over here of closed maps as the favorite. Haroooo is going to pick Scandinavia. I like these picks. These are going to be some fun games, I think. Hopefully we'll get to see a lot of these maps. Then El Docente picks Shoals as his last home map, and the admin pick is going to be Hillfort. So we're going to open on a semi-closed map. And then after that, we'll see where things go. Okay, so on to the Civ draft. We have Haroooo banning Persians right off the bat. This has been a very typical ban, super strong Civ. El Docente banning Bohemians right off the bat, which that's interesting that he's banning that because he picked the closed maps. Bohemians is usually a closed map Civ. Maybe he just doesn't want to play against it on those closed maps. That's my thought. Haroooo banning Mongols. These are two that have been banned quite a bit in bracket A. And then Docente choosing to ban Portuguese. Interesting that he banned two Civs that are particularly good at closed maps, even though he's picking the closed maps as his home maps. Haroooo goes Italians. We've seen this as the top pick a lot, quite a bit during the tournament. Docente picks Bengalis. Again, we've seen this go very high in most of the drafts. Haroooo goes Saracens, a really solid pick. El Docente goes Byzantines, another pick that we've seen very often during these drafts. Very good on maps like Shoals, Mediterranean, even Scandinavia can be very strong. We get Huns for Haroooo, Chinese for El Docente, Hindustanis for Haroooo, Dravidians for El Docente, Turks for Haroooo. So I could see Turks or Hindustanis being played on Fortress or Arena. Both of these are typical Civ picks for those maps. Dravidians, you can see it on a lot of hybrid maps. Lithuanians. Okay, this is one that we've seen somewhat frequently, but definitely not in every draft. So it's interesting that he has this one in here. Malay for Haroooo. We've seen that almost every draft. Very solid pick for hybrid maps. Celts. I don't know that I've seen Celts the entire tournament. I think this might be one of the first drafts where I see Celts. Interesting pick. Haroooo with Vikings. Really good on a lot of those water maps. El Docente with Spanish. Probably we'll see that on potentially on one of the water maps. Japanese for Haroooo. Malians for El Docente, Berbers for Haroooo, and Teutons for El Docente. Again, not a Civ we've seen a whole lot of. Not a Civ that we've seen a lot of. Let's take a look at these snipes. Okay, so El Docente snipes Huns, and Haroooo snipes Bengalis. All right, and that's not bad. Not bad. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna ping these two players to let them know that I am casting their game so that they can watch if they'd like to. Or they can go back and watch later. Disable that. At Haroooo plus at El Docente. Casting your set ATM if you're interested in watching. Smiley face. Okay. Okay, so here we go. We're going to hop right into game one. Let me get you guys to the right screen. Just letting you know right now, the blurps do not work while I'm casting. You will waste your channel points if you use the blurps while I'm casting. The sound will not go through. It's just to make it a nicer experience for everyone who's trying to listen, pay attention to details, and wants to watch the game without any distractions. I'm happy to have you guys use the blurps during my streaming of my games, but I know a lot of people like to be able to watch casts without those kinds of things. So, Mr. Chuckles, it's not gonna work. You'll see it will use your channel points, but it will not appear on the screen. Correct, it doesn't work. All right, so we have El Docente in red playing as the Teutons, and we have Haroooo as the Turks in blue, and this is going to be a very interesting game. I have seen neither of these civs on this map up until now. I don't think anyone's picked either of these civs the entire time I've been casting games, so I'm excited to see what these players are going to do. I will do what I have done throughout the entire tournament. I will speed things up in the beginning and see, and I'll slow it down when we hit some action, right? So I'm thinking maybe we're going to see like a fast castle into Janissaries, potentially into a fast imp play with Turks. With Teutons, maybe we'll see some like militia tower rushing. I'm like, these are some crazy civs to see on this map. I've seen a lot of Bohemians picked here. I've seen a lot of Spanish picked here, Burmese, like a lot of those FC into castle units. I've seen Portuguese picked here, but like I don't recall ever having seen the Turks or Teutons throughout the entire tournament picked on this map. I've seen them picked on other maps, but Teutons I don't think I've seen Teutons at all. I might have, but not that I recall. So both players just doing the typical things that you would do on this map. I'm gonna pause super quick, guys, because I do want to get their elos in there. I forgot to do that. Give me 1 second. 1876 for Haroooo. 1876, so that if anyone is wondering, they'll be on the screen for those that are curious. And 1625 for El Docente. 1625. All right, now we're all good. Back to the game. So the heavy favorite is Haroooo, but we know from last set that El Docente is more than capable of pulling off the upset. He pulled off a crazy upset against Lelouch, who was almost 2K, like a very strong player. Lelouch is very good, and El Docente pulled off an amazing upset against him. I believe it was 3-1 was the end of that series. So I'm excited to see if El Docente is going to be able to do something similar here, or if Haroooo's going to have a dominating performance and demonstrate why he's the higher elo. Interesting gold mining location here. Are we gonna see? Was he meant? Yeah, he meant to go to the gold. Okay. Both players opting to go what looks like an FC. You can see that they've both got 3 more vills queued. So I don't think either of them is going to do any feudal play. I don't like trapping vills in like this in a 1-tile gap. This vill is not going to be able to work now. Yeah, not loving this. I mean, now they're going to be working, but why trap your vills in there? Like, if your opponent comes to tower drops you, you'd have to delete the mining camp. Anyway, that's just a little thing. Seeing as they're both FC, it's probably fine, but just something to think about if you're ever doing this. It's best if your vills are not trapped inside of a 1-tile gap. Unless you're trying to protect them from like a scout rush or something, maybe that would work. But if it's like, say it's archers or towers, your vills are just dead, or you have to waste 100 wood by deleting that. Something interesting to note, guys, is that El Docente has actually come out on the map with a mill and collected the berries. and we're gonna go ahead and look at his exploration. He found this, and he opted to do that instead of drop the mill on the inside, where there isn't anything to take with the mill. Whereas his opponent just dropped the mill on the inside, and opted for more farms. So, more of an investment for Haroooo, who isn't up quite yet. But Haroooo looks like he's going for the castle. He's already starting to collect the stone. And what do we have here? We had a deleted building, I guess. And now we're gonna go ahead and slow things down. Slow things down. So this is good for Docente. El Docente now knows that his opponent is on stone. He knows that his opponent is going to drop a castle. The question then becomes, is my opponent going to drop the castle at home, or is he going to try and drop the castle forward? You can't drop the castle on your opponent's walls, but you can drop it in here or over here, especially if you feel as though there's a place. 1 second. Especially is if you feel as though there is a place that you want to place your TC, right? And that castle might deny that person's TC, right? Okay, what are these vills doing now? What's the plan here? Oh, this scout is gonna find these vills. You just watch. Oh, they just miss it. So okay, monks. It's gonna be monks from El Docente. Interesting. I don't know. Will monks be good in this situation? I think it's sketchy because Janissaries have a lot of range, and I think the monks will have a hard time getting conversions on them. They have high attack, and siege against Janissaries feels really bad because the Janissaries have the same range as they have the same range as a Mangonel. So it feels like the Mangonel, if he goes Mangonels, they're just gonna die to Janissary. I guess he could go Rams and Monks, perhaps? Rams, Monks, and I don't know what. Now we have a Light Cav out, because you automatically get the Light Cav upgrade as Turks. And it's gonna be... Okay, he's gonna take the safe option. He's gonna build the castle in his base, which I think is better. I think that's the wise option to do here. I think we'll have one Vill converted here, but it shouldn't be a big deal. Yeah, like that Vill will probably just die to the TC, or... Yeah, he's not going to deny this. And he loses the monk. El Docente loses the monk. And we're going Scorpions again. I don't love it against Janissaries. Janissaries have the same range as the Scorpion. Okay. El Docente has one Scorpion, one monk, and the Janissaries are starting to be produced by Haroooo. Haroooo feels like Haroo's game plan is very solid, and he knows exactly what he wants to do. And El Docente, I mean, he goes one Scorpion, one Battering Ram, one Monk. It feels like maybe he's not certain on what he should be doing here against the Turks. And I think that's fair, because it feels to me as though the Teutons are at a large disadvantage in the matchup. And there goes the Monk, and that's what I was talking about. Like, there goes the Scorpion, there goes another Monk. Very, very rough for El Docente, who's had his push destroyed right away. And now he's queuing the monks into the monastery. This ram is going to go down. There's going to be 5 Janissaries and a Light Cav. And I don't think he's going to get this conversion. This conversion is not going to go through. It does. It does go through. Well, that's very convenient, but now he's got 5 Janissaries. And what does he have to fight these Janissaries? He's not making any siege. He's making another monastery at home, but this battering ram's going to go down. He's got 1 Light Cav, a few outposts, but has no military to fight. And the Janissaries will one-shot the monks, right? He needs to have several monks to be able to fight against these Janissaries, and the Janissaries just murder the monk, right? There's no way to try and get a conversion there. Now he's trying to build 2... El Docente is trying to build 2 monasteries at home. He's got a lot on gold, but Haroo's gonna walk right up to his gate and knock him off of gold immediately. And these Janissaries have a lot of range, and there's... Oh, there is Loom, and it didn't even matter. The Janissaries will break right through this gate, and I think the GG will be called. I don't see much of an option. There's no units on gold for El Docente, and 7 Janissaries walking right into your base, right where your gold is. And your opponent is untouched. Another monk going forward, trying to get a conversion. Gets the conversion, and he converts the Janissary, and the Janissary is immediately killed by the castle. And now this monk will go down. 2 monks here at home. They're going to try and get conversions, but I think that Haroooo is just going to micro them down. He loses 2 Janissaries, so good conversions for El Docente. Very good conversions for El Docente, but there's still 5 Janissaries in El Docente's base, and more being produced at home. Haroooo is unbothered at home besides 1 ram, right? 1 ram with a vill in it. And the vill count is now in favor of Haroooo. The army counts significantly in favor of Haroooo. And now we have all these vills going out to this other gold, but I think that if Haroooo just walks around the base and finds out where his vills are going, he can just kill them. And now another monk goes down. Another monk is going to go down. Monks going down left and right for El Docente, and Haroooo is now getting devotion. And devotion will really seal the deal here, because not only will these Janissaries be very difficult to convert, but in the numbers that they are, he'll need a significant amount of monks to make those conversions happen. And right now, he has no gold to continue producing the monks. There's a monk actually trapped in here behind. This is very, very annoying. If you're El Docente, you have to be very annoyed by a monk being trapped in behind the monastery. 4 monasteries now having been built for El Docente, but the vill production has really decreased, and the idle time significant for El Docente. It was 2 minutes and 38 seconds of idle time, whereas Haroooo only has 1 minute and 33 seconds, and now is ahead by 5 vills, and the res collected by almost 1k res. Now a monk coming out for Haroooo. It will get picked off by this light cav. Never mind. El Docente just passing, doesn't realize that there was a monk there for him to pick off. A conversion on a vill happens here, and it looks like we have Haroooo looking for a place to expand. We do have a TC now coming up on this gold down here for El Docente, which will protect these vills. However temporary that protection may be. But the Janissary is continuing to be produced, and there's 13 Janissaries now, and only 4 monks. Only 4 monks for El Docente, who is struggling to get good conversions. Now the light cav and the monk are bothering the vills out here. There's a lot of idle time. A conversion does come in, and now suddenly the eco count is very similar. Suddenly the eco count is very similar, with vills getting converted and vills being killed. Oh, and another monk down. Another monk down for El Docente. And these Janissaries just causing chaos in the base for El Docente. Oh, a misclick. Haroooo goes in too close, loses a Janissary to the TC. Another monk about to go down for El Docente. Oh, and it will go down here, I imagine. Maybe not. It does. It goes down. A conversion comes in. A good, timely conversion for El Docente. But now we have 5 Janissaries still denying the stone. A Janissary here getting converted. Good conversions coming in for El Docente. Still able to bother the wood line over here for Haroooo. I think the El Docente has stabilized slightly. He's still behind by quite a bit. 1k for less res collected for El Docente, and you can see that reflected in the score. The score is in favor of Haroooo, and I think the position is in favor of Haroooo, but it has evened out slightly, and I think that there is a little bit of stabilization for El Docente, who has managed to fend off the main attack and is starting to get enough monk numbers out that it may he may be able to stabilize in the position that he's in and move forward from here. It looks like the Janissaries for Haroooo are going to back off. Maybe just want to go back and clean this up. I think that perhaps that's the thought process for Haroooo, is to go back, clean up the things that are in his base, and then press out from there. 3 conversions coming in at the same time. Will any of these conversions go through? Now that he has a devotion, will any of the conversions happen? If these conversions don't happen, I think that Haroooo's position will be very, very strong. Only one conversion goes through. All of the monks go down. Only one conversion goes through, and back to only 3 monks for El Docente, but 11 Janissaries on the field for Haroooo. Not a good position for El Docente. Now the Rams are out. Well, 1 Ram now. 1 Ram for Haroooo, who is going to be pressuring the TCs. The other issue that we have is that Haroooo is going to have a lot of the ecotechs, and El Docente is not. We have Bowsaw and Wheelbarrow coming in for Haroooo, but there is no Wheelbarrow, no Horse Collar for El Docente. Horse Collar in, and now Bowsaw and Wheelbarrow coming in as well for Haroooo. Haroooo now has 14 Janissaries on the field and a Ram. He's also going to be fielding another Ram here very soon. And there's only a few monks. Only a few monks for El Docente. And I think all of these monks go down. I don't think we see any conversions. The monks going down. No conversions coming in. And Haroooo using a very interesting play where he hops in the Ram to avoid the conversions finishing. And it's a very interesting way to avoid getting converted, right? Is you can use the Ram as a transportation device for your units, and they can't be converted while they're in there. And so when the conversions start to come in, you simply pop them back in the Ram, and they can't be converted. Docente doing the best he can defend this attack off, but the position for Haroooo looking stronger and stronger as the time goes on. We have even 2 more vills for El Docente, but 3k res collected ahead for Haroooo, who has had an untouched and well-defended eco the majority of the game. And this TC cannot range these Janissaries, and the Janissaries can range the TC. Now, 3 conversions coming in for Docente back here. So a few more Janissaries on the field now, but all the monks now go down, and Haroooo just opts to come and clean up all these Janissaries. And every time that it seems as though Docente is getting a decent amount of conversions, Haroooo is right back at killing all of the monks and getting his military numbers up again. The monastery that was forward for El Docente goes down. Now the siege workshop will go down. And I think what we're going to see is we're going to see a slow push forward that's going to take out this TC. And here's the fast imp timing that I was talking about earlier this game. The Turks, with their faster gold collection, their faster gold mining, I think it's 20% faster gold mining, it makes it so they're able to do a very, very fast imp. And 54 vills is a very fast imp. 2 more monks go down for El Docente, and I think when Imp comes in, I think it's going to be a GG call from El Docente, who really isn't going to have anything to handle Trebs along with the Janissaries. Or Bombard Cannon, right? Chemistry comes in immediately for the Turks. As soon as they hit Imp, they get Chemistry. And so you can build Bombard Cannons the second that you hit Imp, which is a very, very strong play. Bombard Cannon Janissary is an amazing comp to have in the late game, and there's really nothing that nothing that El Docente can do to stop this. He's gonna try and opt to build this castle to defend his eco, but in 1 minute we're gonna have Bombard Cannons coming out that are gonna be able to kill the castle, and nowhere near enough res for El Docente to be going up. El Docente is going to be in a very, very tough position in about 30 seconds. I think that Haroooo has played this very, very well. He's opted to go with a very strong civ for this map, something that I think he most definitely has practiced. Just looking at how he's played this, it seems as though he's come in very well prepared with a good plan on how to play this map. And as much as I've enjoyed watching El Docente's gameplay, it seemed as though he didn't have quite a grasp on what to play here against Haroooo. Right? It seems like maybe in this map Haroooo was a little bit better prepared. The GG is called, and I want to say that the EAPM for Haroooo, insanity. 105 average EAPM, and at one point in the game, 511. Absolutely crazy. I don't know what he was clicking, but that was pretty awesome. To have that kind of an APM is very, very crazy. So he was doing a lot of things at once, but you can watch the statistics. Yeah, somewhere in here, he was doing a whole lot of stuff at one time. But yeah, really good average. Plays very, very fast. So the faster player here is definitely Haroooo. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and hop into our next game. 1 second to pull it up, and I'll give the win. 1 second, guys. There it is. Game 2. Go ahead and give the win to Haroooo. Ooh, definitely deserved that one. Where's the light cab, man? I mean, he didn't need the light cab in this case, right? So Haroooo up 1-0, and now we have Malay versus Poles. And here's something, a little detail I'll let you guys in on. El Docente did not have Poles in his draft. And so what's going to happen is Haroooo is going to have the option to snipe one of his civs that he will no longer be able to play as. Any civ that Haroooo wants, he can take away from El Docente for having played as a civ that he didn't have in his draft. And he opts to take away Spanish, just so you know. So you might be thinking, wait, I didn't see Poles in the draft. You are correct. Poles was not in the draft, and that was the decision that was made in regards to that. So you won't be seeing Spanish later on. Yeah, just so you know, in case you're curious about that. Anyway, I'm going to speed things up a little bit here at the beginning. Neither player realized until after the game was finished. Neither player realized, so that's why, yeah, neither player knew, and yeah, that's how it went down. If either player had been aware of it in the game, then yeah, you would just redo. I think you would just replay the game, and the opponent would be able to take a civ away. So, where's the moderation? Haroooo is here. He gave him the benefit of the doubt. He knows what he drafted. Yeah. So, I'm not gonna say anything else until maybe after this game. But yes, if Haroooo had requested that the loss just be given to El Docente, if it affected the outcome of this game, then yeah, I think that would have been decided. But yeah, I just wanted to be transparent, let you guys know what happened, why there was Poles in here. The game was played, so we're gonna go ahead and see what happens. Yeah, so Haroooo playing as Malay in blue, very interesting. I think what you typically see with Malay on this map is a fast imp play, because they get the faster up times. And so you want to play like Arb, Bombard Cannon, and that's a very, very good pick here. If you're playing as Poles, you want time to be able to really get into your, lean into your full work bonus, right? And this is interesting. What is this being placed? A palisade being placed forward? Why is there a palisade? What is this? Was this meant to be a tower? Oh, maybe it's going to be a tower rush. Okay, all right. So we're going to have a pole tower rush. And both players are up to feudal. We're going to slow things down now, I guess. I think we're going to slow it down here. Pole tower rush. I guess Haroooo had an idea this was coming, because he went up to feudal very early, right? You wouldn't have gone up to feudal this early unless you thought this was coming. So I don't know if he scouted and saw the vills, perhaps, but both players are up to feudal, and yeah, we're gonna have this this rush into the base from El Docente. And behind it, El Docente adding another full work onto the berries. This can be very hard to deal with because the Poles have vills that heal 10 HP per minute in feudal. Oh, are we gonna see vills go down? Oh, one vill down. Oh, no loom on these vills. I've been in this situation, guys, where I forget loom here. Oh, 2 vills down. Oh man, roughs. Already a big loss for Haroooo. But this piece of wall is up. And now loom is in, so it's a little bit safer to go forward and try and get this piece of wall up. A nice job by Haroooo to get this closed off, but maybe next time have loom. I say that from personal experience. I have been there where I haven't had loom. And it can be brutal. You have the tower comes in and you're trying to make sure that the vills don't get in to get that chain of towers started. And now this is really good. Haroooo is countering this perfectly. He's going to get fletching. He's building the tower exactly 1 tile outside of the range of his opponent. He's going to get fletching and counter this. And now El Docente opts to not continue the push. He's already gotten value. He's already killed 2 vills and forced his opponent to go into a tower. He's going to instead take the chickens. I think this is actually really smart. You killed 2 vills, you put the pressure on, and now you're going to take free food that's in the middle of the map. Now, we're going to see the same thing that El Docente did last time. He added outposts around his opponent's base. Is this going to work out for him this time? You have this tower, the tower play. You have the outpost play to see into the opponent's base. Haroooo is... Wait. How? Oh, okay, yeah. So Haroooo is melee, so he has a faster uptime. So even though he lost 2 vills, he's actually still ahead in the vill count because his TC can work longer since it doesn't have to take as much time to get to the next stage. So even though he lost 2 vills, he's actually still ahead by a vill, which is really valuable if you're melee to have that strong advantage, right? The timings can be beautiful with the melee. And now we have Wheelbarrow coming in for El Docente, who has both Double Bid Axe and Horse Collar, and then you have Horse Collar and Double Bid Axe also for Haroooo. Haroooo's got a lot more farming going on than El Docente. And we're seeing that reflected in the food collected. Hey, that rhymed. We're seeing it reflected in the food collected. And so I think that El Docente thinks that because he has the farms around the full works and because he's collecting these free chickens, that he's probably in a better position food-wise. But Haroooo had a lot more farms down a lot earlier. And so even though El Docente has a bonus for placing the farms around the full work, Haroooo's actually in the better position. And I don't know, Haroooo cannot see this, right? Haroooo doesn't know that he's out here, but he is building a stable, and I imagine that's going to be for relics, for relic play. That he's going to build scouts to kill the opponent. Monks and Haroooo can see this. I guess Haroooo can see that he's taking the chickens. He can't see exactly what he has out there, but he can see the chickens dying. So perhaps that's the idea, is maybe he's going to build a knight or 2 to go clean up these vills. Which, honestly, would be quite smart. And he's going up to castle. He's going up to castle much faster, because he's melee, much faster than his opponent. He'll be up 1.5 minutes, almost 2 minutes, faster than El Docente. And now he's building the scouts, and the scouts are going to go see what's out here. And not only that, but I think that he's gonna find this, and this could be really bad. If you're El Docente, you've got exposed vills, and your opponent is going to be up to castle before you. That is very dangerous. And now I think we're gonna see a tower drop on this. Maybe not. I think we are, though. I think we're gonna see a tower drop here. And there's no way. Oh, and there's more vills coming out, and they're going to be spotted. This is such a dangerous position for El Docente, who has so many vills exposed right now. And I think we have a lot of stone collected. I think that El Docente thought he would have time to get the castle up and pressure his opponent. And now we're going to see all of these vills go down. Right? There's no way that El Docente can save these vills. So many vills will die here. Or at least take a lot of damage. They're going to be idled, but I think they're going to die, right? Like, I mean, yeah. There's no way that they run far enough, fast enough. I guess the elephant is slow, but if he's attacking the whole time, he should get some of these vills. Maybe I'm wrong. Looks like the vills are just going to run away. Now we have a castle time for El Docente. Now he's up. And he really hasn't lost much. For what could have been a disaster, he's been able to save a lot of the vills. I think this was a misplay from Haroooo. I think he should have built more scouts and taken out all of these vills. Now he's killing some of the vills. Now the vills are going down. And now El Docente does lose quite a few vills. Maybe he'll lose one more. We'll see. And Haroooo is collecting. He's collecting the relics. Oh my, and El Docente still goes for the forward castle. So much aggression from El Docente, who really wants to put the pressure on Haroooo. This is a forward castle drop with no military. A very risky play. There's monks and military on the field for Haroooo. And is El Docente going to get the quick walls? He gets that quick wall. Will he get the other quick walls? He gets that quick wall. He gets the quick wall. Okay, the quick walls are in. Quick walls are in. That castle will go up. Heavy plow and bow saw now in for El Docente. Bow saw is also in for Haroooo. Only missing heavy plow now for Haroooo. The elephant goes down. This monk barely escapes with his life, but he does. How many relics do we have? We have one relic collected for Haroooo, but it looks like Haroooo's going to get both of these. I don't see any scouts out to stop that. We may see potentially Haroooo pick one of these relics up as well, but they're going to be much harder for him to get. And Haroooo opting just to wall behind this, not feeling that pressured. He's just going to wall behind. And I think Haroooo's going to work to try and get up to with a fast ib time and shred this down. Neither player really forcing the issue. Just some spearmen. Some spearmen on the field for El Docente. Castle forward. We might see some petards. I think if we want to see a lot of early castle age action from El Docente, he's going to need petards to break in here. Although this tower is causing him problems getting this walled up. Right, this tower is denying that vill from walling this completely. Now the vills are... Oh, we're going to see a second castle. We're going to see a second castle on the face. And here it goes. A castle being built by El Docente right on top of Haroooo. Castle number 2. And although Haroooo has 15 more vills than El Docente, I think El Docente feels very comfortable pressuring with this forward castle. The problem is that Haroooo, the problem for El Docente... What just happened there? Why did he delete? Why did Haroooo delete? Delete the gate to let him in there. Maybe he wanted the conversions. He just deletes the vills. Haroooo's converting them and is just deleting them. Yeah, so I think that Haroooo's going to gladly go up to Imp, make his own castle at home, and shred down the opponent's castles. And Haroooo having 3 TCs, or no, only 2. 2 TCs compared to his opponent's 1 is looking much better as far as the eco goes. He has 2k res more collected than his opponent. So Haroooo, for game number 2, being in the much more comfortable position. I think El Docente might think that he's in a good position. He's looking at the score, and he's going, we're close in score. And I've got him pressured. I've got him cornered. He can't go anywhere. I'm going to force the issue and cause my opponent to make mistakes by putting on high pressure. The only problem with this plan is that Haroooo is already up to Imp. Haroooo does not feel pressured. He deletes those farms, continues to boom behind it, and has 3 relics on top of being up to imp at a very, very fast timing. And he's just going to put, Haroooo's just going to put more walls behind this TC just in case this becomes a problem. He's just going to play nice and safe. He does need to take stone if he's going to have a castle to deal with these, unless he's just going to go chemistry. He might just, he has the university, he might just go chemistry and add bombard cannons. All right, we know that he wants to go Arbalest because he's already getting the archers out. He's already got Bodkin arrow. I think we're going to see bracer. We're going to see crossbow, bracer, and chemistry very soon from Haroooo, who is buying food to get these techs. There comes crossbow. I think we're going to see some more food bought, maybe some wood sold, and we're going to see, there it is, chemistry. So we have crossbow, chemistry, and we don't see bracer yet, but I think it's next on the list. Now, El Docente is up as well. He's got 2 minutes. So what needs to happen here for El Docente is he needs to hold on until he can get to imp and get chemistry himself for bombard cannons. But I think it may be a little too late at that point. But maybe the second castle being forward like this will buy him some time to get to his own bombard cannons. We're seeing a university and ranges going down for El Docente. I think El Docente sees the crossbows and he's going to go into skirms himself and try and counter his opponent's play. Bombard cannon skirm could work against the melee, but the problem is these elephants will make it very difficult if he goes skirm. All right, might need to add some monks potentially. Don't know if he's preparing for that. Has he seen? Can he see? He can see the elephants. He knows there's also elephants here. Now chemistry is in. Chemistry and bracer are in. The bombard cannons, I'm assuming, will be made soon, and here they are. They're on their way. So bombard cannons, and here's a second siege workshop. But Haroooo can, or I'm sorry, Docente can see this. So El Docente is going to kill this Vil. This Vil won't get that siege workshop up. Maybe he will. It's gonna be close. All right, so El Docente is now up to imp. He desperately needs to get, there's the skirms, he desperately needs to get chemistry. He doesn't quite have the res. Now he has the res. He needs to get chemistry behind it. And he has chemistry queued behind ballistics. But the bombard cannon is out for Haroooo, who is going to start knocking this castle down. We'll see if El Docente feels as though he needs to repair it or if he'll let this fall and opt to just try and defend the second castle. A lot of crossbows out for Haroooo. Crossbows that will most likely soon be Arbalest. And Mangonel and some crossbows go down for Haroooo. He accidentally walks them through some tower and some castle fire. Now 2 bombard cannons out for Haroooo. The score is actually in favor of El Docente. El Docente getting a lot of damage, a lot of kills. The KD very much in favor of El Docente, and we're gonna see a siege tower from Haroooo, who's gonna put the crossbows. I didn't actually know that crossbows could go in a siege tower. Now I know. I didn't know that. That's actually really cool. He's gonna go over the wall, but I don't think it's gonna matter too much because there's quite a few skirms with chemistry waiting here. It would be really cool if they could shoot out the top. Yeah, that would be pretty awesome. So a lot of skirms here for El Docente. So these archers, although they're going to have more upgrades, are not really going to be able to take this fight. But the bombard cannons just wreaking havoc on these castles for El Docente. And I think that although the score is very close, we look at the eco count and Haroooo is ahead by 20 Vils and 5k res collected. And now Haroooo has the stone for his own castle. He's getting siege engineers. He's got bombard cannons on the field. Oh, an Obuk and some skirms might get the kill here on this bombard cannon. And that bombard cannon goes down. And I think we'll see this bombard cannon saved. And a forward castle for Haroooo, who says, You forward castled me. It didn't work. I'm going to forward castle you, and I'm going to end the game. And Docente says, but what army do you have to get this castle down, sir? You're going to lose all of your vills if you come forward. And now he's slaughtering the vills. Haroooo losing so many vills going for this forward castle. 5, 6 vills go down. Now, bombard cannons will deal well with the elite skirmishers. And I think we're going to see some bombard cannons from El Docente as well. And these skirms looking to get shots on these bombard cannons. And now the chemistry crossbows popping out, trying to get some good hits on the skirmishers. The repairs coming in on the bombard cannon. Good repairs on these bombard cannons to continue to have them in the fight against the skirms. And Haroooo opts to have a castle at home. Is he sees it as too aggressive and too dangerous to try and get it forward on El Docente. And now we have 4 bombard cannons on the field now for Haroooo, which is just so strong. It's going to be very hard for El Docente to counter 4 bombard cannons along with the crossbows. We do have a monk on the field now as well for El Docente, who did collect 2 of the relics. In the meantime, while he was doing everything else, he did collect 2 of the relics. So it's 3-2 the relic collection. TC number 2 and 3, although technically it's 4, but 2 and 3 that will be up are being built for Haroooo. And El Docente's second TC is really in a very poor position, as these bombard cannons will be able to take it out. 5 BBC are out now, and oh, big shot for Haroooo, who kills like 5 or 6 skirms in one shot. And now this town center will go down very rapidly. There is a bombard cannon on the field for Docente, who gets some shots off, does some damage, but Haroooo with the high EAPM coming in and repairing these as he's fighting, and picking off El Docente's bombard cannon with ease. And Haroooo working hard to counter the cross, or I should say, Docente working hard to counter Haroooo's crossbows, and now they're arbs along with 5 bombard cannons, and El Docente doesn't know what to do here. This is such a difficult position to be in, and if you're Haroooo, you have to feel as though you're dominating this second game. And this number of skirmishers will never be able to take a good fight against that many bombard cannons along with that many arbs. And right behind it, Haroooo is booming on 3 TCs and continuing to add arbs and bombard cannons to the mix. Some more good attack grounds here from Haroooo. He hits some more shots on the skirms, and I think although we see El Docente trying to add 2 more TCs, he's behind by 15 vills and behind by 7k res, or almost 7k res. And I think that Haroooo has played this beautifully. El Docente having a very difficult time handling this really, really strong melee play. And now we have enough stone for another castle, and I think this one will go up forward. I think Haroooo is going to push forward with his vills, and he's going to throw this castle up forward on his opponent. And Haroooo just diving into his opponent's base with the arbalests in the siege tower, and now they're going to pop out and just start killing vills. A really, really clever play for Haroooo, who comes in here and is just taking vills out all over the place for his opponent. And although he only has 5 arbs, he can still one-shot vills. So vills going down all over the back of El Docente's eco, and all the while still pressing forward, and now he has karambits. No way to stop this. El Docente may be fighting on for the moment, but I think he's going to soon realize that there's nothing he can do against this combination of units at this point in the game. That there's not enough eco to support playing against this comp out of the melee. And Haroooo just destroying eco left and right in the back of El Docente's base. And now the karambits coming in and wreaking havoc on the skirms. The bombard cannons pushing into the base. They'll destroy everything in their path. The forward castle in Docente's base. Haroooo says, this is my game and you're just in it. And we're going to see a forward castle inside of El Docente's base, and the GG is called. GG is called. And again, we see Haroooo playing very, very fast, playing a very high EAPM, playing very strong and clean game. And so now you guys may realize why they didn't why the win wasn't automatically given to Haroooo, because the game was already won by Haroooo. So if you were questioning before why the moderator wouldn't step in here, it's simply because Haroooo had already won the game, right? So Haroooo won this game, and then as a penalty for picking a civ that he didn't have, El Docente also lost the Spanish in his draft. So hope that makes sense now. Hope you guys, I didn't want to spoil the game, but at the same time, that was the decision that was made once the game was over, and both players realized that Pulls was not available to El Docente in the draft. So game 2, Haroooo wins. Boom. 2-0. And I think Haroooo is playing very clean and has had some really, really solid civ picks from his draft. I think he's done a really, really good job with it. On to the next game. Let me pull that up, guys. We'll pull up game 3 and see if El Docente is able to turn things around, if he's able to get a win here in game 3, or if Haroooo will continue the dominance. Right? I would say these have been very, very strong games for Haroooo. So here we go into game 3. And for continuity's sake, I will change Haroooo to red, so that we have the same colors we're used to. And game 3 is going to be played on Mediterranean. And this is a very odd Mediterranean spawn. The water like kind of goes between the opponents, but not really. The opponents on the same side of the body of water, and a lot of the neutral sheep out here along the outskirts of the water. And actually, guys, El Docente has 5 neutral sheep in the back of his base. I guess technically there's 6 neutral sheep in the back of Haroooo's base, and Haroooo is going to find these right away. Okay, I've got to pause the game for a second, guys. I have been talking about this every cast that I've done throughout this entire tournament that has been on Mediterranean. I've been talking about players sending their scout to grab the neutral sheep early and taking advantage of the free food. This is the first time I've seen a player really take that into account, and we'll see if he grabs these as well. He's grabbing 6 extra sheep just by going out along the water and scouting to see if they're there. And so here, Haroooo starts the game with 6 extra sheep simply by checking to see if there are extra sheep close to his base. And I really like it. But check this out. We're seeing, what do we see back here? All of these extra sheep. I bet you that Docente is going to go grab them as well. It's so funny that in the last game, in the final, we see both players find the extra sheep very early and take advantage of something that early on in the tournament, many players did not take advantage of. And now we have, so you have Docente playing as Lithuanians, so he starts with the extra food. We have Haroooo playing as Vikings, so he gets the cheaper dock. And Haroooo, really, with a very clean build order, already has 2 fishing ships out. And El Docente getting Loom, and going straight up. No fish built at all. I think this is a very interesting build. We might see some early aggression from El Docente with the with the Lithuanians, and not going for water is an interesting choice. They're going for the attack on water, but not going for the fish. Haroooo, having gone all the way around, looked for all the sheep. He opted not to push his mouflon, but it's okay. You don't have to push the mouflon when you have 6 extra sheep, right? This is a little bit of food that you could have had, but this is guaranteed food. that you do have already under your TC, and now you're getting good scouting. And now he could still push these if he wants to. He could still push these. Yeah, the mouflon is a little bit faster of a food source, but it's also less. It's also less. So you get 420, and here you get, well, 600. And even if you count decay, right, it is still more for the sheep in the long term. And you could still push these. So Haroooo could still opt to push these if he wants. So now we have 2 docks from both players, a 3rd dock from Haroooo. Haroooo only knows about this 1 dock. He doesn't know about the 2nd dock. So is he going to see it? He doesn't see it yet. He might go down and see it, though. We have Fire Galley coming out for El Docente. And Haroooo doing some scouting with his fishing ship. Oh, a good find by El Docente. A really good find. Is Haroooo going to be able... Haroooo pulls off a really good quick wall. Really nicely done from Haroooo. Then this just goes to maybe demonstrate the... goes to demonstrate the speed that Haroooo has. You need it in slow-mo? You want to watch it in slow-mo? Okay, we'll watch it in slow-mo. Here you go, here you go. Ready? We're going to play it in slow-mo. Quick wall. Quick wall. Beautifully done by Haroooo. Beautifully done. Really, really nice. And then he gets this wall up as well. And he doesn't allow the scout to get in. All right, we're going to play it back on regular speed now. So, fire ship out for El Docente. So, this Vil will still go down. All right, that dock goes up, but the Vil is still going to go down. Is this fire ship's going to come in and it's going to kill this Vil. No way. I was going to say, does he save it again? No way. No, okay, so the Vil goes down. Now the fire ship is out, but Haroooo does have... Oh, he's not paying attention. Oh, okay. All right, now he's blocking with the fishing ship. That's funny. Haroooo has 2 galleys out. There's 1 galley and a fire ship for El Docente, but no fish for El Docente, which is really critical to have in Mediterranean. Like 4 fishing ships working for Haroooo, and El Docente has no fishing ships working for him currently. I think this was a mistake by El Docente to go with Lithuanians here and not get the fishing ships out. It's rough. Smiley AOE, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I think that this is a really strong position now for Haroooo. Hey. Yeah, the fishing ships are just going to run, and I think that Haroooo has the EAPM to micro these galleys away and still be able to kill these fire ships for El Docente. And like, I guess El Docente is doing quite a good job though of chasing these fishing ships down with 1 galley. I really like this, that he's chasing the galleys away with his fire galleys, and he is still killing the fish up here. This dock and this house might actually be a really sweet play for El Docente if he gets army and deletes this house and goes in here. But I think Haroooo sees it and will wall it off. Maybe. We'll see. So, a lot of galleys and a demolition raft out for Haroooo. I think that Haroooo will be able to push these fire galleys back, but perhaps... Okay, good good demo there. Yeah, the fishing ships are going down. So, El Docente has equalized the playing field as far as the eco unit count goes, and Haroooo might be able to eventually get the water back, but he's not really gaining any eco advantage now from the water. But I will say those 4 fishing ships, for the time that they were out, gave him a 600 res lead. So although Haroooo has lost his fish, having them originally gave him a much, much stronger eco than his opponent. Right? Haroooo is now going out. He's going to take the mouflon here at the edge of the map and just take it to the mill. So he is still going to take advantage of this extra food. Haroooo, where did his navy go? Okay, his navy's getting repaired at the dock. Another demo is out. I think he's going to repair that demo and wait for a good opportunity to use it against the fire galleys. And this number of galleys will just never die to fires. Like, he's just gonna micro this away and kill the galleys. Like, beautiful job, just taking out so many fire galleys with galleys from Haroooo. And the KD is now very favorable for Haroooo, and the threat on water is completely killed. Right? If you're El Docente, you should stop building fire galleys right now and focus on land because you have lost the water. And continuing to build fire galleys is just going to be a loss. Right? You're just gonna throw the resources into a black hole if you keep making fire galleys. And I think that's what El Docente has done here. Right? He's chosen not to build any more fire galleys. Nice job getting value from that fire galley by killing the scout. But now we have a 4-vil lead because of the idle time that El Docente has had. We have a 4-vil lead for Haroooo. And not only that, but El Docente had to get wheelbarrow, and Haroooo gets it for free because he is because he's the Vikings. And so you have Haroooo having a very, very strong eco. He's 600 more or less, 600 res ahead. But if you look, he's so much closer to clicking up to castle, and he has water control. So you're going to see Haroooo add fishing ships back to water, and there's nothing that El Docente can do about it. Right? The Haroooo's just doing a great job dominating the water, and we have seen it time and time again on this map that Vikings just dominate. And I think Lithuanians was a weak pick for this map. I think that's something that in the map draft definitely needed. El Docente needed to take advantage of having some other civs that were really strong on water and picking one of those civs. Lithuanians is not a strong water civ. Right? You don't get a bonuses oriented towards taking water. Now, El Docente does get his fire ship and in here to kill some of the fish, but I think that Haroooo's just going to run away with it and end up killing this fire ship. Yeah, nothing that El Docente can do to stop the fishing. Yeah, shame he didn't have Spanish. Well, I guess that means you have to be careful to only pick civs that are actually within your draft, so you don't get punished for picking civs outside of your draft. Shame he did have Dravidians, right? He did have the Dravidians. I agree. I think that Docente should have picked Dravidians here. It would have been a much better pick. Yeah, I don't think that El Docente had a bad draft, but I don't think that he's taking advantage on a map like Mediterranean of his draft when he picks Lithuanians here. Especially in the game 3, right? When you're already down 2-0, you really need to use your strongest civ available to try and get the win here. It's best of 7, so I mean he does have another game to try and come back after this, but do you really want to be down 3-0? And now here's the thing. El Docente is now building his buildings to go up, and Haroooo is just about up. Haroooo's just about up. And that's going to be rough because now El Docente has to hold on for 2 minutes. 2 minutes plus while his opponent can go into castle age units and put the pressure on. And it looks like we're going to see perhaps an attempt at getting enough stone for a castle, and maybe we're going to see some lattice from El Docente. But the dock's going down for El Docente. He has 1 dock left, but he really isn't going to ever be able to pressure again on water unless he gets a castle up and docks up on the shore. But the eco is so strong from the Vikings, and the lead is very significant already for Haroooo, who has 1,400 more res collected, 1k4 res collected more for Haroooo, and Haroooo's going to go 3 TC immediately. He feels 0 pressure. Haroooo is up to castle first. He has control of the water. He has the fishing, and he feels very comfortable going straight into a 3 TC boom with the Vikings, one of the strongest ecos in the early game out of any of the civs in Age of Empires. Just a very, very strong eco. And Haroooo immediately gets War Galley and is now going to take out the last dock from El Docente. El Docente just now getting the barracks up. He is doing some scouting. He has gotten some outposts up. He knows about the second TC. He doesn't know about the third, but he knows about the second TC. And now El Docente is going to be up, and he's going to try and forward a castle. Let's see if if Haroooo is able to spot this. Haroooo has an outpost up. And Haroooo sees this. Haroooo knows exactly what's coming. And he's going to try and build a gate. He's going to try and keep these vills from being able to build a castle. He's building houses to deny the castle drop. What a great play from Haroooo, who says, you want to drop your castle on my TC, but you can't drop it if there's no space. And Docente needs to place the castle here. He's trying to kill the house. He's trying to get the castle down, but there's vills in the way. And he gets it. He gets the castle, but now there's men-at-arms coming out. This TC could be garrisoned and range some of these vills. And Docente trying his best to get this TC in a good spot, but I'm surprised Haroooo hasn't garrisoned these vills. I guess he's going to allow it to go up. Haroooo must be a master of Monopoly. Why is that? I want to hear the end of that joke. Why is he a master of Monopoly? Docente gets the castle up, right? Kudos to Docente for getting it up. Haroooo doing a great job blocking it from the castles from going up for quite a bit of time. Dropping these houses all over the board. Okay, yeah, all right, that's fair. That's a good joke, I guess. Latest now coming out for El Docente. So good job from Docente trying to make a good game out of a really messy situation early on. Making things difficult for Haroooo, not allowing him to free boom. Right now he has the latest out. He has monks out. I think he wants to get some relics. He's got one relic in. He's got one relic in. He could grab this relic. Does he know about it? He knows about this relic. He knows about this relic. I would love to see him go and collect the relics that are still available. Haroooo has this walled off. He is safe from attacks on this side currently. He has lots and lots of fishing that Docente can do nothing about. The eco, the res collected is in favor of Haroooo by 4K, and oh, Haroooo gets the conversion on the latest and still gets this relic. Really, really good for Haroooo, who's going to really stop the push now. There's not much that Docente can do to get in here. There's monks, there's a latest, there's a siege workshop going up for Haroooo, and now Haroooo has enough to build a castle. If he builds that castle and then clicks up to Imp, I think we will see a GG in game 3. Haroooo, oh my! And just as I say that, we're gonna see a fast Imp from El Docente, who says, "Okay, the last 2 games you fast imped on me. Now it's my turn to fast imp against you." The only problem with this is I don't think there's going to be much behind this fast imp. There's very little res being collected for El Docente, and although he'll be up to imp slightly faster than his opponent, I don't see how he'll be able to really take advantage of that. He'll be able to get Trebs out and maybe steal this relic, perhaps, but I don't think that there's going to be strong army numbers for El Docente. And Haroooo's got many monks. He's got mangonels. He's going to be clicked up to. He's clicked up to imp. Oh, he clicks imp in the forward TC and it gets destroyed immediately. I would say thankfully for Haroooo, he realizes and clicks back up in the back TC. I've done this before and not realized. I've realized that before. Oh, and I totally missed this. We'll go back and see if anything important happened here just for a second. Okay, it doesn't look like much happened. Both players placed the TC. I don't know. Okay, the Vills he broke the wall. Haroooo came forward, placed the TC. Both players get castle. Both players get their castles up. And the interesting thing is, El Docente will be up first and can get Trebs out. He has the res to get Trebs out from both this castle and this castle. Interesting. I think this castle will probably go down for Haroooo because he can't really repair it because of where he placed it. But maybe not. We'll see. Mangonels and monks for Haroooo. El Docente is going to be up to Imp about a minute and a half faster than Haroooo. Berserk's being made for Haroooo. The converted latest and Knight getting some value over here, killing some bills for El Docente. I'm gonna say it again though. Look at the fishing. Look at the fishing. There's 19 fishing ships being able to fish all over for Haroooo, and no way for Docente to deal with that. Rough position for El Docente to be in, right? And Imp's about in now for Haroooo. El Docente is going to start trapping this castle. I imagine he'll make... Why is he garrisoned here? We have like 15 vills garrisoned here from El Docente. He might not realize this. And Atonement is in for Haroooo, who's converting his opponent's monks. I think that El Docente will rapidly realize the position that he's in, and soon call the GG, because this is a beautiful position for Haroooo. Haroooo has so much eco. He has 86 eco units on the field and only 48 for El Docente. And El Docente will clear this castle, but I think that that's all he'll be able to do. He won't be able to continue a push, and Haroooo just in a beautiful position with 10k res more collected with the Vikings. It just goes to show you the power of the Vikings on a map like this with a lot of water and a way to be able to boom like this. So I think the Civ selection was a huge part of this game, but also Haroooo doing a beautiful job playing both water and land, and getting a massive lead over his opponent. 2 relics have been collected for El Docente, but I don't think it will make any difference in this game, because the eco collected is just the difference is just too great, and the timings just weren't there for El Docente. I will say he did get 3 good conversions on Berserks back here, so he does have a little bit of military now. He does have some monks. The Treb War is happening here, but this castle's going to go down. And after that, there will be no protection left for what's left of El Docente's eco back here. We have this other Treb that will be able to start trebbing this castle, but I think that Haroooo's going to realize that Treb is there very quickly. The castle goes down for El Docente. Treb goes down for Haroooo. These Trebs will move forward. I think we'll start trebbing this castle, and yeah, Haroooo realizes that this Treb is hitting from the backside and sends these Trebs back to deal with this. I don't even think these Trebs are going to shoot at the Treb. I think both these Trebs, well, one of the Trebs is going to hit the castle, and the other one's going to hit the Treb. Another castle going up. This is a very, very risky castle. I do not like this castle for El Docente. If Haroooo realizes this is going up, he can just literally turn his Trebs right around and start killing it. The same is true for Haroooo. Both of these castles are not good castles, and Haroooo's going to lose his. Haroooo loses this castle to Trebs. But very, very poor decision making here from Haroooo in these last few minutes, who has a massive lead but throws 3 castles in a very short span of time. Now, I do think this castle will go down for El Docente. Haroooo will eventually push this position. Haroooo actually has enough to add another castle here if he wants to. And the Vills are fighting a knight here. What is going on? And now Haroooo builds this castle underneath the Treb again. Again, he builds it right underneath the Treb. This is such a poor decision. Why build this in range of the Treb? Why do it? You could build it back. You could build it here if you wanted. You could wait until this position is cleared and then build the castle. But he opts to build the castle underneath the Treb. Now, cannon galleons are out for Haroooo. They'll clean this castle up. There's no way for El Docente to stop that from happening. But this castle will most likely go down for Haroooo. And El Docente has no TCs, or 1 TC, I'm sorry, 1 TC. Haroooo has 3 TCs, and Haroooo at over 100 Vils with 14k more res collected right now. Now, the score does not really reflect that, and I think that has primarily to do with large numbers of castles going down for Haroooo that didn't need to go down. I think if these castles had not gone down, the score would reflect a much greater disparity. And I think the score is the only thing keeping El Docente in this game, is he's looking at this score going, maybe I have a chance. Maybe I'm still in this game. Even though, from our perspective, seeing the res collected and the position of both players, we know that Haroooo has the game handled. This castle will go down for El Docente. This castle maybe will stay up for Haroooo. We'll see. And El Docente doing a nice job with the Mangonel, getting some shots in on these Trebs. Both players using Vils to kill Siege. Very awkward. Killing the Siege with Vils is not ideal. Monk conversions coming in on Monks here for Haroooo. Trebs are going to go down for Haroooo, or sorry, Trebs are going to go down for El Docente. Haroo's going to kill all of the existent Trebs for El Docente, and El Docente does not have a castle. El Docente has no castles to continue to build, and the GG is called. Haroooo really putting on display some very, very good decision making. Yeah, Haroooo finally made units at the end of the game. Finally made some military. We can see that Haroooo having some very good decisions on what civs to play and having some good set strategies. I'm not sure what the decision behind why we saw Lithuanians as the decision for this map from Docente. I would love to hear his maybe his motives or his reasons. Maybe he had a plan and wasn't able to execute it. But yeah, 3-0 so far for Haroooo. We'll see if next game, if El Docente is able to swing things back in his direction, if he's able to get a win here, or if Haroooo will close out the set. If he'll close out this final in style, or if Docente will be able to show up and get a win. Haroooo says, I wasn't making units because I was expecting the GG call the whole time. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of fair in that game. The Trebs pissed you off. All right, guys, we're going to go into game 4 here. Game 4 of the finals for Bracket A of Sola Victoria. Hope you guys have had a fun time watching these games and enjoying the content. Yeah. Give me 1 second while I get this. Okay. So, let me change the color real quick for El Docente. El Docente is playing as Celts. All right, this is where he's playing Celts in the blue, and Haroooo is playing as Hindustanis in the red. We have seen Hindustanis so many times on this map, and I don't think we've seen them lose. I think they lost 1 game. I think they've lost 1 game in all of the games that I've cast. So this is a very, very strong pick. Now, on the flip side, I have not seen the Celts picked at all in any map this entire tournament. So I am curious to see, will El Docente be able to pull off some magic with the Celts? Or will the Hindustanis... Oh boy, that was a very awkward boar lure, and now the boar is very far from the TC. Not so sure about that lure there. At least he didn't lose the scout, right? That could have been worse. I think that Hindustanis are a tried and proven civ on this map with a great post-imp composition and a very, very strong boom with the cheap Vils. Right, you can make cheap Vils with the Hindustanis. Throughout each one of the ages, they get cheaper. And then Celts. I have played Celts on Fortress before and had some success with them. I think that they are a very strong civ if played right, but I don't think that they measure up well against Hindustanis. The reason I say that is because Celts are primarily a siege infantry civ with very strong infantry. However, the Hindustanis have some of the best hand cannons in the game, which directly counters the siege infantry play from the Celts. And if you go bombard cannon, hand cannon, imperial camel with the Hindustanis, it's almost impossible to beat. A very, very strong combination. I think the only answer that the Celts could give is siege ram, along with the Woad Raiders. Siege Ram, Road Raider, and just do a full push Siege Ram with Siege Ram, Woad Raider, and hope for the best. But we'll see. We'll see what the plan is. Maybe we're gonna see some fast castle shenanigans from one player or the other. We don't know if they're going to. Yeah, both players going for fast castle. We don't know if they're going to just boom, if they're going to go for relics, or if they're going to use their castle, and try and play aggressive in the early game. All right, let's take a peek and see if they can see relics. El Docente can see 0 relics. Haroooo can see 2. So we have a little bit of better scouting for Haroooo, a faster castle time for Haroooo. But I think that we'll see if he goes for the relics. He opts to go triple TC immediately, so no monastery yet. What are we going to see from El Docente? Is El Docente going to... Oh, what is this? Why are these vills out here? Okay, they're building a TC. Alright, totally fine. And Haroooo wins the scout war over here. I'm going to slow things down now. So, El Docente goes for 2 TCs as well. So, both players going for triple TC boom. And 1 Woad Raider being made by El Docente. I think this Woad Raider is just going to be used to explore the map and potentially kill this scout if he finds it. Look at this little speed walker. This guy gets his exercise. Look at this dude. He's so speedy. I can't walk that fast, especially if I had a giant shield and weapon in my hand. I don't think I could do that. He's got his pajama pants on. He's got his epic Celtic hair. Look at this dude. Giant axe. Imagine the weight of that axe. And this dude's just striding along. Speed of light. Look how fast he's going. Anyway. Little details. So, I think that if it's gonna be a boom off where both players are gonna just kind of sit back and boom. Oh, and here we have the walking Woad Raider runs into the monastery, and Haroooo's like, okay, I'm gonna pop out and try and get a conversion. Now he's just gonna pick up relics, but I think the Hindustanis boom so much better than the Celts. I would love to see the Celtic player go for a giant post-imp, like early post-imp push. Get siege ram, fill up all of the siege rams with Woad Raiders, and go for one massive push to finish the game off. I don't think that there's much of another play that's going to be very successful at this point, right? Because he didn't opt to go for early castle play. And I think the Hindustanis get very strong when you get into the late post-imp game. So you have to kill them early. Haroooo going out and getting the relics. If you're not going for the relics, then you have to kill fast, right? So hopefully El Docente has that knowledge, has that understanding of the map, and goes for that play. Haroooo sees this. He might go for the conversion here. Maybe. Nah, he's just going to run by. We see 1 more relic currently. Haroooo has picked up 1. He's going for this one, and I think he's just going to explore with this other monk to try and find the other. Actually, he can see it. He can see that one. He can't see this one yet, and he's very close to finding the one over here. Right? Very close. So, we can see pretty quickly that the cheap bills are already starting to kick in for Haroooo, who's able to build a 4th TC and has more vills than his opponent. And now we're going to see a 4th TC for El Docente. Oh, conversion comes in on the Woad Raider. So El Docente is Celts, and Celts do get much faster wood collection, so that does help them with the boom. It is a very solid benefit if you're trying to boom. But Haroooo gets the much cheaper vills. So I think that I would much rather be in Haroo's shoes, where you have the stronger post-imp unit composition, and you also have the better boom. Both things combined are very, very good. Okay. So 4th TC now up for Haroooo. 4th TC going up for El Docente. El Docente getting another Woad Raider out. He's going to fight this over here. He's going to fight his old pal, who was a traitor and turned to the other side. Now bleeding out on the ground. Poor Kevin. He just wanted to wear red. What was wrong with that? Anyway, this monk's going to go down for Haroooo. And there goes Dave. So Kevin died. Dave's dead. Where's here's Harry. Poor Kevin. Yeah. Harry's just going over and he's looking at his scroll. He's like, oh man, the 2 guys before me died. Hopefully I can get this thing out of here. This is heavy. Look at how slow this guy's got to walk to carry this thing. Giant gold relic. Anyway. So 5 vil lead. 6 vil lead for Haroooo. And we're gonna see some Ghulams out now. The Ghulams are gonna fight with the Woad Raiders. Let's see, there's a conversion come in. Oh, the delete. The delete. Okay. I guess that's one option. So both players just booming away. Not a whole lot happening. Both players on 4 TCs. Why is Docente building monks now? He can't even see any of the relics. And he knows his opponent has more monks and units on the field. I think this is maybe a bad decision. Maybe he just wants to push his opponent back a little bit with those monks. Make him think he's going monks. Maybe it's a mind game. Handcart has been in for El Docente, who does have a slight eco lead. And Handcart now just coming in for Haroooo. Both players getting close to clicking to Imp. Both players having very, very healthy looking ecos. I love the little house wall happening for El Docente. And here come the Ghulams into El Docente's eco, though. He's like, oh, you left the door open. And here I am on your front porch. What are you going to do about it? He's trying to get in the base. And now El Docente tries to garrison all of his vills, but he can't. They don't all fit. And Haroooo says, well, thank you very much. I'll assassinate some of these vills if you're going to let me. And there's no loom on these bad boys. So they're going down like so. Oh, there is loom on them. They're just dying fast, I guess. Actually, I think he just got loom. And yeah, they just getting loom, trying to save some of these vills, but the vills are dying. And all of these vills are idle. And that Ghulam is like, you missed me. And now Todd's like, that's what you thought. But now you're going to taste the blade of my axe. And he slices this dude up. And yeah, I think Haroooo getting ready. He's got the second castle on the hill. Both players are now up to Imp. Getting ready to do the bombard cannons. And is it going to be Ghulam bombard cannon from Haroooo? I don't really like that. I think that the Ghulams get eaten alive by the Woad Raiders in the long term. When they're fully upgraded, these Woad Raiders will destroy. But maybe the thought process for Haroooo is I'll have more than him early. I'll be up faster and I'll just kill him. Todd and Kevin are definitely some accurate historical Celtic names. Yeah, yep, for sure. 100%. Those were their names. You didn't know Todd and Kevin were Celtic? I don't like it. Scorpions is not the way. Scorpions against Ghulams is not the way. This should be Siege Rams, guys. Should be Siege Rams, but okay. Scorpions, listen. The Scorpions are good, but I think that if you're going to see bombard cannons out from your opponent, and you know you are, there's chemistry coming in. Right? Chemistry's coming in. It's going to be hand cannon, bombard. And I just don't think that Scorpions is going to be a solid push here. Now we've got Trebs being created from both castles now for El Docente. But are Trebs going to be worth it when there's bombard cannons for the opponent? I think it needed to be a full Woad Raider siege ram push, and I don't see that happening. El Docente is getting all of his upgrades for his infantry. He's getting his last eco upgrades. A third castle is going to be placed for Haroooo on this left-hand side. I think that he's trying to protect the eco over here. Yeah, like Phil McCracken. Yeah, that's definitely another Celtic name. So this castle's getting trapped down, and this is the castle that's getting elite Gulam, and Haroooo knows that, and he feels like he needs to repair. He feels like he needs to repair the castle so that elite Gulam comes in. The thing is, elite Gulam is going to come in before elite Woad Raider, and there is a Gulam converted over here. Now, look, these Scorpions not doing much against the Gulams, and they all go down. What a waste. Now, these are elite Gulams. These are elite Gulams now. The Trebs will continue to work on this castle. Both players repairing their castle. I think these Trebs will get knocked down by the Woad Raiders. The bombard cannons are susceptible right now, but the hand cannons will do wonders against these Woad Raiders. And although the Trebs go down, oh no, he didn't finish it. Now he kills the Treb. Although, okay, bombard cannons go down, 2 Trebs go down, and the castle probably will go down. This is actually looking like a very decent push from Docente, but Docente does lose all of the Woad Raiders underneath this castle to the hand cannons. Now the hand cannon numbers are starting to build for Haroooo. Right, these hand cannon numbers starting to look a lot more dangerous, and now the Woad Raiders have to run away, and they're going to try and pick off this Treb on their way out. I think they will get it. Nice job picking that Treb off. Now the question is, what do you do? If you're the Celts, what do you do against this amount of hand cannons? I think, yeah, you have to go either skirms, which really isn't great, or maybe you upgrade all of these Woad Raiders and you just try and mass the numbers, right? And the problem is your opponent is sitting on what? 4 relics. Now, he hasn't found the last relic. Actually, he sees it. He just hasn't picked it up. These hand cannons wreaking havoc on the Woad Raiders. The Woad Raiders trying to come in here. Some good shots from the Scorpions. Some good shots from the Scorpions. The bombard cannon goes down. And all of these hand cannons might get cleaned up, but they're going to be microed. Haroooo knows what he's doing to micro these. He's got the EAPM to micro them. And he's just microing them backwards, just kiting back and killing the Woad Raiders. Now, these Woad Raiders are just going to go for that bombard cannon. Doesn't want him to get bombard cannons out on the field. Chemistry. Why chemistry? Chemistry coming in from El Docente, who does have the score lead, does have a healthy eco, but the gold will become the issue. Will he be able to finish off Haroooo before the gold issue starts to kick in? And now, Shatagni coming in for Haroooo, who will gain +2 range on these hand cannons. The Woad Raiders still not elite for El Docente, and Haroooo doing a great job using the res as it comes in, but so much floating for El Docente right now. So many res are floating right now. Not enough food, too much wood, and way too much gold in the bank. Needs to spend his res. And honestly, I don't think that Scorpion is the way. Look at these Scorpions get eaten. Just destroyed because they have less range than the hand cannons. The hand cannons have more range than the Scorpions. No use making Scorpions, and now he's getting a heavy Scorpion with siege engineers, but that will make it so they have just the same range as the hand cannons. And these hand cannons are going to be brutal. They're going to be absolutely brutal on the type of military comp that El Docente is going for. And El Docente goes out onto these neutral gold, which is really good to get control of. He is going to get heavy Scorpion. Now, the heavy Scorpions will have, once they get siege engineers, will have the range. Oh, actually, they won't. They don't have the range. I thought they had the range. They're going to have 1 less range than these hand cannons. These are some broken hand cannons. They can shoot further than Scorpions. Crazy. Not enough Woad Raiders, no elite tech on the Woad Raiders. Haroooo just looks like he's going to continue to advance here unopposed. Yeah, I think Shitagni hand cannons are pretty OP. That's why I say that the Hindustanis being picked here is no surprise. The Celts being picked here is a bit of a surprise. And although they have the same amount of Vils, the eco for Haroooo is up by 4k res collected, almost 5k, and this looks like an unbeatable composition of units right now if you're in El Docente's shoes. What do you build to fight with this army if you're El Docente? Haroooo just pushing forward with a brutal combination of units. The massive army of hand cannons with bombard cannons and with trebs just devastating everything in their path. And if you're El Docente in game 4 of this best of 7 final set for Sola Victoria Bracket A, you have to be looking at your enemy and saying, what can I do to win? What can I possibly do to beat this force? 57 hand cannons with 5 bombard cannons and 4 trebs. This is an unpushable army if you're the Celts in the post-imp game against this kind of composition. And we just saw Haroooo deletes Vils. Haroooo deletes a massive amount of Vils so that he can continue to build army. He deletes 30 Vils. And Major KD, what's up? How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. And welcome, Raiders. If you're Haroooo right here, you have to be so happy with the outcome of this game. Knowing that the game is in your hands, that there's nothing your opponent can do to beat you, and that the series will close with a 4-0 scoreboard. This is an amazing, dominating performance by Haroooo, who after getting 3-0'd by an opponent who was disqualified, was invited back to the tournament, and who goes all the way to the final and puts on a dominating performance against El Docente, who, being the underdog throughout a massive part of the tournament, was able to make it all the way to the final with some masterful performances himself. So kudos to both players for making it this far in the tournament. And I think in very short order, the congratulations will be due to Haroooo for the win in this series. We have what looks like the last chance for El Docente to make a pushback. He has 35, 36 fully upgraded elite Woad Warriors. I think he's just trying to get the numbers up before he takes one final fight. But what do you do against 92 hand cannons? Haroooo continues to delete eco. He has 100 hand cannons on the field, and I think Haroooo feels utter confidence in his ability to win this game. He doesn't care if he has the Vils. He knows this game is over, and he's deleting all of his Vils to finish in style with a massive army. 130 military out on the field for Haroooo. And Haroooo says, come at me, bro. There's nothing you can do. This game is over. He has 11 trebs forward with 112 hand cannons on his opponent's doorstep. Absolute domination for Haroooo in this final. 4 games and 4 victories to finish out Sola Victoria. I am astounded at how well Haroooo has played. His civ selection was beautiful. His execution was great. And he's just parading the red cannoneers, the red hand cannons through the map, to tell his opponent the game is over. I've won. And if you're El Docente, you're looking at this going, what on earth could I possibly do to win at this point? Diving in to try and take the trebs out And in one shot, okay, 2 shots, the castle will go down. No more castles for El Docente. No more army for El Docente. He may be at 120 vills. He may be spread out throughout the map, but he has no relics, no army, and no way back into this game. And what do we have from Haroooo? Haroooo continues to delete the vills, and El Docente says, GG, well played, and congratulations. And I don't think I could say it better myself. GG and well played, and congratulations, Haroooo. You won the highest bracket in Sola Victoria. You came back and put on some great performances against some hard opponents. I think Docente has played spectacularly throughout the tournament and fought hard to get to this final. Congratulations to both of you guys for making it this far in a very hard bracket with very talented players. You both obviously put in a lot of time to practice, to learn the maps, to have strategies prepped. So thank you for putting in that work. I will be contacting both of you guys to get your guys' payments here in the next few days. Oh yeah, I'm glad you were able to come back, Haroooo. I'm sorry that you were unjustly eliminated in the first place. And I'm glad that we were able to right that. And I'm glad you were able to play through all the way to the final. I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed the experience. Hope you had a good time in the tournament. I hope the viewers enjoyed the content. I will be making an official announcement for all the winners and runners up here probably tomorrow, and making sure that everyone gets their their payout. I've already paid out half of the prize pool to players that I've contacted over the last few days, and I'll pay out the rest of it probably today and tomorrow as I get the chance. So, is it a record 127 hand cannons in a tourney game? Probably. Probably. I've never seen this many hand cannons in a tournament game. That's for sure. Brilliant games and casting on your part. So thanks, Platypus TV. I appreciate that. It's been a pleasure to be able to host a tournament. It's my first tournament ever. Right, it's the first tournament I've ever hosted. I just want to give another shout out to Watermelon Hero, who's been the admin on this tournament and done just an amazing job. So much effort and work that he's put in, both behind the scenes and working with players. Just he's made it a very smooth process that I would never have been able to do by myself, right? That the tournament wouldn't have happened without him. So if you ever see him streaming, or if you want to give him a shout out in the Discord and thank him for all of the stuff that he's done, all the work that he's done, the handbook that he put together, just a great job. I'll just show you guys really quick in case you hadn't ever seen it. I'll show you the handbook that he put together, and he did the art for the logo. Okay, so the logo, actually, I don't know why. There we go. Now it's letting you see. Okay, so he made this logo. He worked really hard on this handbook. The brackets, right now I can show you guys the brackets. All of this behind the scenes work. He did so much. And I'm just very, very thankful for all of the support that he's shown. He had tournament experience where I didn't, and was able to help me walk through the process. And I'm really, really glad with how it turned out. So yeah, you can you can give him a round of applause. I know we can't hear it, but you know what I'm saying. Just show him some love. If you see him streaming, pop in, say hello, give him some thanks for what he does in the AoE2 community. He does a lot of really nice things to make the AoE community what it is. So it's always good to thank those people and show them some appreciation when they're putting in effort to make it a really nice place to be, and a really fun place to be. So yeah, I can give him a shout out in the chat. Just 1 second, let me do that. Or actually, do I have any mods in here that could do that? Mr. Chuckles, if you're still here, could you give him a shout out? Shout out to Watermelon here. Yeah. Yeah, let me get a link to his. Oops, that's not it. This might give it. Yeah. Oh, it didn't give a link. It was supposed to give a link. I'll find it. Yeah, I've given a bunch of a bunch of shout outs in the past, and yeah, I just want you guys to know all the stuff that he's done to make this possible. Oops, that's not what I want. Yeah. So I'm going to I think I'm gonna switch over and play some 1v1s now. But I'm gonna upload this set. Give me a second, get you guys to the right screen. Yeah, I'll post the link. Thanks for getting the link. I'll post that right now. Boom. All right, so there's a link if you want to go check out Watermelon Hero. There's his Twitch link. And you can always find him as well in the Discord. So feel free to say hello to him in the Discord. Super nice guy, super easy to talk to. And yeah, I'll upload all of the finals to YouTube. I think 2 of them are already on there, and I'm working on the 3rd one. But I will get all of them up by sometime mid next week. I'll have them all on YouTube so you guys can watch them whenever you want. And yeah, I think that's where I'll close things, and I'll put out an official announcement on Discord sometime this week as well. And we'll get things wrapped up as far as the tournament. But thanks everybody who's made it a great tournament. I really appreciate you all. Everybody who's been supportive and shown up for the casts. Thanks so much for making it a smooth and easy process. And to all the players who participated and gave it their best and gave good efforts to make the tournament fun. Thank you to all of you guys as well. Okay, we're gonna go away from casting, go to mainstream, screen capture, and here. All right, I've been going for 5.5 hours, guys. I think I'm actually gonna take a slight break. I think I'll come back online sometime tonight potentially, and if not, I'll see you guys in the morning. Because I kind of have a headache, and I've been going for 5.5 hours, and I don't want to have a really bad headache. So I'm gonna grab some food and see how I feel, and if I feel good after that, I might pop back online for some 1v1s, and if not, you'll see me tomorrow morning. So thanks everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and raid someone. I'm sure there's a lot of people on. Let's see who's on. Stellar Mish is playing. We'll go ahead and raid her. Okay. Time to recharge. Yeah. I think I need to. So thanks, guys. I will see you soon. If not tonight, tomorrow morning. I appreciate all of you, and hope you guys have a great evening, night, day, morning. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Go have fun with Stellar Mish. Catch you guys later.